So, we're done in kitchen tools and equipment. Now, let's proceed to the definition of cooking terms. Number 1. Al dente. To cook pasta or vegetables until firm to the bite yet tender. 2. Bake. To cook by dry heat, usually in oven, known as roasting when applied to meats. 3. Barbecue. To slowly cook and covered by dry heat in a gridiron over coals under a free flame or on heated stones or metals, or even in an electric unit, usually basting with a highly seasoned sauce. Number 4. Beurre de brie. To top or cover meat with a layer of fat like bacon or salt pork slices, usually in roasting. 5 is the baste. To moisten foods while cooking to enhance its flavor, prevent the drying up of its surface, and improve its appearance. The liquid used is usually melted fat, drippings, fruit juice or sauce, or a mixture of highly seasoned sauce. 6 is the batch cook, to cook in small portions as needed for service. 7. Butter, a medium of thick mixture of liquid, water or milk, egg, flour, salt, seasoning, and sometimes sugar, used in making pancakes, cookies, or coating for deep fried foods. 8. Bet, to move a fork, spoon, or rest, or use a rotary blender, electric mixer, blender, food processor to blend, mix, and generally incorporate air into a mixture. 9. Bind, to make a mixture of 2 or more ingredients to cohere into a homogeneous product, usually by adding a binding agent like starch or gelatin. Number 10 is blanch, to dip or plunge food materials into boiling water to cook 10 to 20% doneness to inactive enzymes and aid into the removal of skins from nuts, fruits, and some vegetables. Number 10 is blanch, to dip or plunge materials foods into boiling water to cook 10 to 20% doneness to inactive enzymes and aid into the removal of skins from nuts, fruits, and some vegetables. 11. Blend, to combine 2 or more ingredients thoroughly that they lose their separate identities. 12 is blend sauce, a sauce made by thickening a light stock with a raw, consisting of fat and flour or a velouté. 13. Boil, to cook in a liquid at boiling temperature of water at sea level, 200 degrees Fahrenheit or 100 degrees Fahrenheit, wherein bubbles rise continually and break at the surface. Number 14 is bone, to remove flesh or meaty portions from the bones. Then 15 is the boilan, a well-seasoned stock. 16 is the bouquet garni, a combination of vegetables, herbs, and spices like parsley, bay leaves, thyme, celery, onions, and other herbs finely chopped, usually tied in small cloth used in making light stocks. Then 17 is bouquetière, a combination of 3 or more vegetables served as an accompaniment of an entree. 18. Braise, to coat the food surface with breadcrumbs alone or with flour, egg wash or milk, and crumbs before cooking. 19. Bread, to coat the food surface with breadcrumbs alone or with flour, egg wash or milk, and crumbs before cooking. 20. Broil, to cook by direct heat from above. 21. Broth, the liquid in which food, usually meat or vegetables, has been cooked. 22. Brown sauce, one of the basic sauces made by thickening a brown stock with the raw or cornstarch or by reducing it quickly. 23. Butter sauce, a sauce consisting of emulsified egg yolks and butter. 24. Candy, to cook a food material like fruit peel, and related food item in a heavy syrup until plump and transparent, then drained and dried. 25. Caramelized, to heat sugar until it is liquefied and eventually turns brown in color and characteristic caramel flavor is developed. 26 is carré, a cube measuring 1/4 to 1/2 inch. 27. Chop, to cut into pieces with no specific size and shape. 28. Clarify, to clear liquid or stock of any solid particles. 29. Complement, the addition of a second ingredient of flavor that goes well with the first, where both are enhanced. 30 is the concassé, To cut into rough but even-sized particles as in making amarappo. 31. Converting a recipe, adjusting the amounts of ingredients and its correct proportions to produce a larger or smaller quantity of the same dish. 32. Cook, to bring about a change in a food product through heat application over a period of time to make it edible and palatable. 33. Corned, submerge in brine. 34. Cream, to work on one or more ingredients to a soft, smooth, and creamy mess using a spoon, mixer, or any appropriate tool. 35. Cross-contamination, the spread of microorganisms from one food to another through a dirty knife, towel, counter, chopping board, dish, or hands. 36 is cube, to cut a food material into a cube shape measuring about 1/2 to 1 inch. 37. Cure, to preserve a food material by salting, pickling, or drying. 38 is deep fry, to cook food submerged in hot oil. 39. Deglaze, to dissolve and loosen coagulated meat, juices that stick to the bottom of the frying pan or roaster by adding water, stock, or wine. 40. Degrease, to remove fat from the surface of a liquid such as in a sauce or stock by skimmering, decanting, or soaking it in paper. 41. Dehydrate, to remove moisture from a food product, generally to improve its keeping quality, done by sun or air, drying, heating, or salting. Number 42 is dice, to cut into small uniform cube about 1/4 to 1/2 inch in size. 43. Dot, to put small pieces of butter over the food, allowing it to melt and cover its surface upon heating. 44. Dredge, to coat or sprinkle a food material lightly with a fine, dry, or powdery substance such as flour, cornmeal, and ground nuts. 45. Dripping, sauces and fat extracted from fatty animal tissues and bones by heating, originally refers to the fat from roast meat or poultry with a good flavor. 46 is dust, to sprinkle lightly with fine powdery substance like sugar, cocoa, flour, or ground nuts. 47. Egg wash, combination of beaten eggs and liquid, usually milk, used in breeding of food materials for frying or for brushing dough to produce a good color and gloss. 48 is amense, to slice very thinly. The number 49 is entree, the main course of courses of dinner consisting usually of meat, game, fish, or pulses with or without accompaniments, one of the classic white or brown sauces, and garnish. Then 50. Entremet, originally any dish served after the main course, consisting of a sweet dish such as pastry, pudding, or frozen dish. 51. Espagnole, a basic brown sauce made from a rich beef stock thickened with raw, usually mixed with a tomato puree, which serves as a mother sauce for many sauces. 52. Fine dice, to cut into 1/8 inch in sizes, cubes, also called brunoise. 53. Fine herb, a combination of several finely minced, mild-flavored fresh herb for flavoring and garnishing, usually consists of equal parts of parsley, chives, chervil, and tarragon. 54 is the Finnish cook, to cook to doneness a partially cooked dish, usually just before serving. 55. Flake, to break or pull apart of a food material like poultry, fish, or meat. 56 is flame, to add wine or liquor to a dish and ignite the flame. 57 is flavor, to add a product that possesses a distinctive taste that complements the denominating flavor of a dish without masking that flavor or losing its identity. 58 is flavor builder, an ingredient added in cooking a dish to enhance or enrich the flavor of the main ingredient. Then 60 is the fold, to mix a beaten ingredient lightly with another ingredient or mixture by gently cutting and turning with a spoon or spatula to prevent breakdown or release of entrapped air bubbles. 61 is the fricassee, to braise white meat or poultry, usually served with sauce. 62 fry, to cook in hot oil or either in shallow or deep fat or oil. 63 garnish, To add colorful and decorative edible accent to a finished dish entirely for eye appeal, not necessarily eating. 64 is garniture. To add something edible to finished dish for eye appeal, flavor and texture, which becomes the part of the dish and is eaten without it. 65 glaze. To add shine or give glossy finish to the surface of sweet and savory dishes for eye appeal and flavor. 66 is grate. To force through a grater to reduce foods to finer pieces. 67 grill. To cook food with direct heat and over under a heat source. 68 grind. To reduce hard food materials to a fine powder like coffee and spices to mince meats. 69 hold. To keep a partially fully prepared food at a safe temperature for a short period of time before its intended use. 70 julienne. A food material cut into small and very thin pieces about 1/8 by 1/8 by 1 1/2 to 2-inch sticks. 71 is knead. To work on a dough with a pressing motion, accompanied by folding and stretching, which can be done manually or mechanically to develop sheets or gluten and to incorporate air. 72 is lard. To thread or insert fat called lardons through meat with a larding needle, or placing slices of fat on the surface of uncooked clean meat or fish to give flavor and to prevent the drying up of the surface, keeping it succulent during roasting. 73. Maitri de hotel butter. A compound butter flavored with lemon juice, chopped parsley, and or other herbs. 74. Marinade. Seasoned liquid or liquid mixture made up for the purpose of marinating to add flavor and to tenderize. 75. Marinate. To soak food or to let it stand in a highly seasoned liquid to add flavor and or to tenderize the treated raw meat, poultry, or fish upon cooking. 76. Mask. To disguise or cover completely with a thick sauce or by flavoring to hide the food's true face. 77. Match cut. To cut into a long, thin stick that measures 1/4 by 1/4 by 3 inches. 78. Medallion. A classical terminology applied to food materials, cut or shaped flat and round or oval like a medallion. 79. Medium. Done is in meat cookery having a warm pink center. 80. Medium rare. Done is in meat cookery having a slightly warm deep pink or pale red center. 81. Medium well. Done is in meat cookery having a slightly hot and slightly pink center. 82 is melt. To transform a product from a solid to a liquid by heating. 83. Mince. To cut or chop very finely. 84. Mirepoix. A mixture of rough cut vegetables and herbs, usually carrot, onion, celery, and tomato, used as a flavor enhancer for dark stocks, soups, and sauces. Then 85. Mise en place. To collection, weighing, and preparation of all ingredients for a recipe before it is assembled and cooked. 86 is mix. To combine two or more ingredients so that the parts of each are evenly dispersed in the whole. 87. Mother sauce. A basic sauce from which other sauces are made like the bechamel, the veloutés, Espanol, Fando, tomato sauce, hollandaise, and béarnaise, also known as the leading sauce. 88. Nappe. To coat a food item evenly with a sauce, usually a meat, poultry, or fish. 89. Oven fry, overnight. To initially brown in a frying pan and finish cooking in an oven until cooked through. 90. Pan. To cook vegetables without liquid in a tightly covered pan with a little oil or fat. 91. Pan drippings. The residue left in the pan after roasting or frying meat or vegetables, which is used as a base in cooking gravies. 92. Pan fry. To cook the two dones in a frying pan with a small amount of oil or fat over moderate heat. 93. Pantry. A kitchen station wherein cold foods that require no cooking are prepared like salads, desserts, and selected sandwiches. 94. Parboil. To brown, usually grains by means of dry heat. 95. Parch. To brown usually grains by means of dry heat. 96. Pare. To remove the outer covering of a vegetable or fruit using a knife or any appropriate cutlery. 97. Partial. Cook or quickly chill. A method in quantity production wherein a food item, usually a vegetable, is partially cooked, then quick chilled with ice and refrigerated until needed, then is finished cooked just before serving. 98. Petit fours are tiny fancy frosted cakes or small rich cookies cut into decorative designs. 99. Peel. To strip off the outer covering of a vegetable or fruit, as in bananas or oranges. 100. Pie. To force a semi-solid mixture through a pastry tube and lay it down on some surface to create special designs. 101. Plank. To bake, grill, or serve meat or fish on a well-seasoned hardwood board, usually with a groove to catch juices. 102. Poach. To cook in a hot liquid at temperature about 160 degrees Fahrenheit to 180 degrees Fahrenheit, 71 to 82 degrees Celsius, wherein bubbles are just on the bottom of the pan but undisturbed. 103. Spot roast. To cook larger cuts of meat by braising whole in a covered pot and sliced for serving. 104. Prep. A kitchen slang that means to clean fresh produce. 105. Preparation. Pre-prep. Involves all the cleaning, trimming, cutting, processing, setting up, and production done before final preparation of food for service. 106. Prime. To polish a cooking surface at intense heat with salt and fat or oil to overcome its being porous. 107. Produce. Include the fruits and vegetables as they come from the market. 108. Puree. To mash or process a cooked food item to a fine pulp by forcing it through a sieve or processing it in a blender. 109. Pores. To press fruit or vegetables through a fine sieve or masher. 110. Quick chill. To lower the temperature of a newly cooked food item to below 40 degrees Fahrenheit within 2 minutes. 111. Reconstitute. To restore food products to their normal state by adding liquid or reheating a frozen or refrigerated sauce. 112. Red sauce. A sauce made by thickening brown stock with raw and tomato puree. Served hot. A cocktail sauce consisting of a mixture of ketchup, chili sauce, horseradish, and other flavorings. Served cold. 113. Reduce. To boil or simmer a liquid until it becomes lesser in volume by evaporation to have a greater concentration of flavor or make it thicker if with starch. 114. Render. To release fat from the connective tissues by heating at low temperature. 115. Rest. To withstand to allow the meat juices of roast to settle it to the flesh. 116. Roast. To cook by dry heat, usually in an enclosed unit such as oven or barbecue pit or on a revolving spit before an open flame. 117. Roll. To pass food material through a fine or powdery substance to cold. 118. Roux. A thickening agent made of a combination of fat and flour cooked together to varying degrees of color. White roux cooked until thick and foamy. Bland roux cooked until color is bland. Brown roux cooked until it looks brown and a nutty flavor is developed. 119. Sachet bag. Herbs and spices are tied in a piece of cheesecloth and added to the cooking pot to flavor stocks, soups, sauces, or stews. 120. Sanitize. To wash surfaces and utensils with a germicide to free it from bacteria. 121. Sauce. Refers to a thickened seasoned liquid to enhance the appearance and flavor of a dish. Basic sauce. Sauce is not seasoned, used to make finished sauces. Finished sauce refers to sauce ready for serving, may be seasoned basic sauce. 122. Suit. To cook by flipping quickly in a small amount of fat, considered to be a partial cooking process. 123. Score. To mark the surface usually of a meat or fish with shallow cuts to prevent edges from curling during cooking. 124. Sear. To brown the meat surface by exposing it to extreme heat in a pan or oven before cooking at a lower temperature. 125. Season. To heighten or balance a food's own flavor by adding seasonings. 126. Shred. To cut or tear in fine strips or pieces. 127. Shock. The removal of the outer covering such as shells, from oysters or corn husks. 128. To cook in a liquid just below boiling point wherein the liquid has bubbles floating up slowly from the bottom and the surface appears fairly undisturbed. 129. Skim. To remove froth or floating layer from milk, sauces or soups using a skimmer. 130. Slice. To cut across the grain into even slices about 1/8 to 3/8 inch thick. 131. Silver. To cut into long thin strips with a knife on a cutting board usually applied to almonds and pimento for garnishing. 132. Slurry. A flour water mixture used in thickening sauces, also called whitewash. 133. Small sauce. A small sauce derived from a mother sauce with the addition of flavoring and seasonings. Considered a secondary sauce. 134. Smoke point. The temperature at which fat smokes due to breakdown of its chemical structure, rendering it unsuitable for cooking. 135. Smoother. To disguise, mask, or cover. 136. Sorbet. Refers to a light course separating two heavy courses. 137. Stagger cook. To cook in small batches as needed for service. 138. Steam. To cook in steam with or without pressure, on a rack over boiling water or in a cabinet-type cooker under pressure. 139. Step. To let stand a substance in a liquid below boiling point to extract flavor or color. 140. Stew. To cook slowly in a liquid for a long period of time until the food item is tender. 141. Stir. To mix ingredients using a circular motion to obtain a uniform consistency. 142. Stir fry. Method of quick frying with frequent turning of ingredients in a small amount of fat. 143. Stock. A flavored liquid used in making sauces, soup, and sauce-based encurd. 144. Strain. To separate lumps or particles from a liquid by passing it through a fine mesh of metal, cloth, or plastic. 145. Sweat. To allow to soften over low heat to permit juices to come out. 146. Toast. To tumble and lift ingredients lightly, usually using 2 forks or a fork and a spoon. 147. Cross. To tie meat or poultry to be roasted using a strip, pins, or skewers to keep its shape during cooking and even doneness. 148. Well done. Well doneness in cooking meat wherein it is fully cooked, having a hot moist gentler with no remaining pink color. 149. Whip. To beat in a rapid motion to incorporate air causing expansion. 150. White sauce. A sauce made by thickening a light stock or milk with flour butter mixture. 151. Whitewash. Same as slurry. And 152, which is the last, is the yellow sauce, a butter made by emulsifying melted or liquid butter and egg yolks. I hope you learned something, guys. That would be all. Thank you, keep safe, and God bless.